Pip and the Starlight Express to Cloud Top Castle. Pip was a little mouse with very big dreams. While the other mice in the meadow were busy gathering seeds for winter, Pip was busy gazing at the night sky, wondering what it would be like to touch a star. One chilly autumn evening, as he was watching the first twinkling lights appear far above, he saw something strange. A single, shimmering star seemed to be getting bigger, and bigger, and bigger. It wasn't falling. It was zooming straight toward him, trailing a ribbon of silvery light. With a soft whoosh that sounded like a sigh, it stopped right at the edge of the daisy patch where Pip was sitting. It wasn't a star at all. It was a tiny, elegant locomotive, carved from polished walnut and inlaid with mother-of-pearl that gleamed with its own inner light. Behind it was a single, cozy passenger car made of a giant, hollowed-out acorn with windows of crystallized dew. The conductor, a portly firefly in a smart blue cap, hopped onto the platform. He consulted a scroll made of birch bark. "Pip?" he boomed in a surprisingly deep voice for someone so small. "Yes?" squeaked Pip, his whiskers twitching with amazement. "Right on time." "Board, please. The Starlight Express won't wait all night. We have a schedule to keep," the firefly said, though his eyes twinkled kindly. "A schedule? To where?" Pip asked, scrambling aboard the acorn car. "Why, to Cloud Top Castle, of course," the conductor said. "It's the Night Guardian's birthday, and every year, one dreamer is chosen to deliver the first and most important wish of the night. This year, it's you!" Pip's heart did a happy little flip. The acorn car was filled with the delicious smell of warm milk and honey. He peered out the window as the Starlight Express gave a cheerful toot-toot and began to rise into the air, following a track made of moonbeams. They soared over his sleeping meadow, which looked like a patchwork quilt in the moonlight. They chugged past the owl, who was too surprised to even say, "Hoo." They climbed higher, skimming through a soft, misty cloud that tickled Pip's nose. Suddenly, the train gave a jolt and shuddered to a halt. "Trouble on the tracks," the conductor announced, peering out the window. Pip looked out. The moonbeam track ahead was broken, shattered into 1,000 glimmering pieces. A gloomy gray cloud had drifted across the path, and without the track's light, the train couldn't move. "Oh dear," the firefly conductor fretted. "The cloud sprites must be napping again. They're supposed to keep the tracks clear. We'll be stuck here for ages." Pip wouldn't let his big adventure end like this. He remembered something his mother always said: "A little kindness can light the way." He reached into the small pack he always carried and pulled out his emergency snack. A single, bright, sun-ripened berry he'd been saving. He leaned out the window and held the berry up toward the gloomy cloud. "Hello," he called out softly. "Would you like a snack? You look like you could use a bit of color." A wisp of the cloud detached itself and drifted over. It nibbled the berry. Instantly, that part of the cloud turned from gloomy gray to a lovely rosy pink. The other cloud wisps saw this and crowded around, eager for a taste. Soon, The entire cloud was munching on the happiness and warmth stored inside Pip's berry, and it transformed into a fluffy, pink, cotton candy cloud. It drifted happily out of the way, but the track was still broken. The now pink cloud sprites felt bad for causing trouble. They swirled together, took a deep breath, and blew. Their breath was cold and misty. It flowed over the broken pieces of the moonbeam, frosting them and welding them back together, creating a new, even stronger track made of moonbeams and ice. It glittered more beautifully than ever. "All aboard!" the conductor cheered. "Well done, Pip! That's thinking like a true night courier." The Starlight Express chugged on, up and up, until finally it arrived at a station made of a single glowing star. A path of swirling stardust led to the most magnificent castle Pip had ever seen. Cloudtop Castle was built from cumulus clouds, with towers of spun sugar and flags that fluttered like the northern lights. The Night Guardian, a tall, graceful figure who wore a robe woven from the dark blue of the midnight sky, greeted him at the gates. "Welcome, Pip," she said, her voice like the gentle ringing of distant bells. "Thank you for your help. Because of your kindness and quick thinking, the night can continue on schedule." She led him to the grand balcony overlooking the whole sleeping world. "Now," she said, "for the most important job, you must deliver the first wish. It sets the tone for all the dreams that will follow tonight." She handed Pip a small, glowing orb of soft golden light. It was warm and hummed with a gentle, happy energy. "Just hold it up to your heart, think a good thought, and let it go," she instructed. Pip closed his eyes. He thought of the warm, pink cloud sprites. He thought of the kind firefly conductor. He thought of his cozy home in the meadow. He thought about how wonderful it was to be kind and to have adventures. He held the wish orb to his chest, filled it with all his gratitude, and tossed it gently into the night sky. It soared away from the castle, faster and faster, growing brighter and brighter, until it exploded in a silent shower of golden sparkles that showered down over the earth below, filling the dreams of sleeping children and animals with warmth, kindness, and the promise of adventure. His job done, the Starlight Express took Pip home. As it dropped him back off in the daisy patch, the conductor tipped his hat. "Until next time, dreamer." Pip scurried into his burrow, his heart full of starlight. And from that night on, whenever Pip looked up at the sky, he didn't just see stars. He saw destinations. And he knew that if he kept dreaming and kept being kind, the Starlight Express would surely whistle for him again.